Many leaders of big organizations, I think, don't believe that change is possible. But if you look at history, things do change, and if your business is static, you're likely to have issues. The ultimate search engine would basically understand everything in the world, and it would always give you the right thing. And we're a long, long ways from that. You may think using Google's great, but I still think it's terrible. I have always believed that technology should do the hard work, discovery, organization, communication, so users can do what makes them happiest, living and loving, not messing with annoying computers. That means making our products work together seamlessly. I have over 2 million followers now on Google+. I do think there is an important artistic component in what we do. As a technology company, I've tried to really stress that. Invention is not enough. Tesla invented the electric power we use, but he struggled to get it out to people. You have to combine both things, invention and innovation focus, plus the company that can commercialize things and get them to people. Especially in technology, we need revolutionary change, not incremental change. If you say you want to automate cars and save people's lives, the skills you need for that aren't taught in any particular discipline. I know, I was interested in working on automating cars when I was a Ph.D. student in 1995. I can't really comment on rumors. Most people think companies are basically evil. They get a bad rap. And I think that's somewhat correct. It's quite complicated and sounds circular, but we've worked out a way of calculate a website's importance. For me, privacy and security are really important. We think about it in terms of both. You can't have privacy without security. If you ask an economist what's driven economic growth, it's been major advances in things that mattered, the mechanization of farming, mass manufacturing, things like that. The problem is, our society is not organized around doing that. You need to invent things and you need to get them to people. You need to commercialize those inventions. Obviously, the best way we've come up with doing that is through companies. We're at maybe 1% of what is possible. Despite the faster change, we're still moving slow relative to the opportunities we have. I think a lot of that is because of the negativity. Every story I read is Google versus someone else. That's boring. We should be focusing on building the things that don't exist. You know what it's like to wake up in the middle of the night with a vivid dream? And you know that if you don't have a pencil and pad by the bed, it will be completely gone by the next morning. Sometimes it's important to wake up and stop dreaming. When a really great dream shows up, grab it. If we were motivated by money, we would have sold the company a long time ago and ended up on a beach. I think it is often easier to make progress on mega-ambitious dreams. Since no one else is crazy enough to do it, you have little competition. In fact, there are so few people this crazy that I feel like I know them all by first name. I like going to Burning Man, for example. An environment where people can try new things. I think as technologists we should have some safe places where we can try out new things and figure out the effect on society. What's the effect on people, without having to deploy it to the whole world? It really matters whether people are working on generating clean energy or improving transportation or making the internet work better and all those things. And small groups of people can have a really huge impact. I really like using my Samsung 005930KS tablet. I previously used the Motorola Sum for a while and liked that. Over time, our emerging high-usage products will likely generate significant new revenue streams for Google as well as for our partners, just as search does today. My grandfather was an auto worker, and I have a weapon he manufactured to protect himself from the company that he would carry to work. It's a big iron pipe with a hunk of lead on the head. I think about how far we've come as companies from those days, where workers had to protect themselves from the company. We want to build technology that everybody loves using, and that affects everyone. We want to create beautiful, intuitive services and technologies that are so incredibly useful that people use them twice a day. Like they use a toothbrush. There aren't that many things people use twice a day. We have a mantra, don't be evil, which is to do the best things we know how for our users, for our customers, for everyone. So I think if we were known for that, it would be a wonderful thing. My job as a leader is to make sure everybody in the company has great opportunities, and that they feel they're having a meaningful impact and are contributing to the good of society. As a world, we're doing a better job of that. My goal is for Google to lead, not follow that. Basically, our goal is to organize the world's information and to make it universally accessible and useful. The idea that everyone should slavishly work so they do something inefficiently so they keep their job, that just doesn't make any sense to me. That can't be the right answer. If you're changing the world, you're working on important things. You're excited to get up in the morning. If your access to healthcare involves your leaving work and driving somewhere and parking and waiting for a long time, that's not going to promote healthiness. Computing is kind of a mess. Your computer doesn't know where you are. It doesn't know what you're doing. It doesn't know what you know. Big companies have always needed and cooperated in areas where it made sense. We can't have democracy if we're having to protect you and our users from the government over stuff we've never had a conversation about. We need to know what the parameters are, what kind of surveillance the government is going to do, and how and why. Lots of companies don't succeed over time. What do they fundamentally do wrong? They usually miss the future. We don't have as many managers as we should, but we would rather have too few than too many. You can be serious without a suit. You treat people with respect, they tend to return the favor to the company. Artificial intelligence would be the ultimate version of Google. The ultimate search engine that would understand everything on the web. It would understand exactly what you wanted, and it would give you the right thing. We're nowhere near doing that now. However, we can get incrementally closer to that, and that is basically what we work on. It's very hard to fail completely, if you aim high enough. If we are not trusted, we have no business. It is often easier to make progress on mega-ambitious dreams. Since no one else is crazy enough to do it, you have little competition. Technology should do the hard work so people can do the things that make them the happiest in life. Small groups of people can have a really huge impact. We should be building great things that don't exist. Almost everyone who has had an idea that's somewhat revolutionary or wildly successful was first told they're insane. Optimism is important. You have to be a little silly about the goals you are going to set. There is a phrase I learned in college called, having a healthy disregard for the impossible. That is a really good phrase. You should try to do things that most people would not do. If you're not doing some things that are crazy, then you're doing the wrong things. People are starving in the world, not because we don't have enough food, but because we're not organized. And computers are part of that. One of our big goals in search is to make search that really understands exactly what you want, understands everything in the world. As computer scientists, we call that artificial intelligence. You're probably on the right track if you feel like a sidewalk worm during a rainstorm. Our mission is to organize the world's information. Clearly, the more information we have when we do a search, the better it's going to work. There are basically no companies that have good slow decisions. There are only companies that have good fast decisions.